One of the most sought-after jobs as a student is working right here on campus, because the jobs are close by and the hours are flexible. But like most minimum wage jobs, it's just not enough to pay rent. Since 2020, there has been a 12% increase of students on campus, serving as another reminder of just how much the pandemic affected universities. After many delays, by 2021, the city finally made a decision to make this land public open space, which is where we stand today. So the Silicon Valley Bank run is what a lot of people called a self-fulfilled prophecy. Like this house of cards, when people started taking their money away, or taking cards away in this instance, the support slowly starts to fail. But if everybody takes their money away at once, the entire bank collapses. No matter what your studying habits may be, one thing is clear: students are ready to be done with the rest of the semester. And with the snow starting to fall, that is just one more indicator that winter break is just around the corner. Reporting live from CSU, I'm Naomi Homer with Channel 11 News. Back to you guys. Thanks, JJ and Madison. Finding a place to live in Fort Collins is no small feat. With housing and rental prices increasing each year, it makes it more difficult for students to find affordable housing. The former representative will share his insight on Ukraine and their now year-long invasion by Russia to the wider campus community. Nearly 7 years after the debate over what to do with the Hughes Stadium land, CSU is hoping to close on the sale of the space this March. But the narrative of a TikTok ban may feel a bit like deja vu. Back in 2020, a similar ban was proposed during the Trump administration. As the semester is slowly but surely coming to a close, ASCSU's presidential election is right around the corner. This April, students will be able to vote on their favorite student representative to lead them through the next year, with 4 candidates to choose from. Yeah, I had Alabama winning, and I don't know if you guys heard, but they lost, so... Colorado State student Alex Prast spent his summer couch surfing as he searched for a new place to live.
Oh my gosh, being homeless was wild. It was an experience for sure.
With housing being too expensive and rental properties continuing to compete, which drives up prices, Prast still has to work overtime just to afford housing.
We can't afford that. We're students. Like, I'm working 3 jobs. I can't balance all that.
In the past year and a half, rental prices have skyrocketed, with the price of a 3-bedroom apartment going from nearly $1,700 a month to $2,400 a month today, an increase of 40%. Of the nearly 300 apartment complexes for rent in Fort Collins, less than a third are available right now, and only a handful are the cheapest option, studio apartments, which aren't much bigger than your average kitchen. But Prast is not alone. Recent CSU graduate Mary Cummings is also working 2 jobs just to cover rent.
Yeah, so most people I know work 2 jobs, if not more. Like my roommate last year was working, I think, 4 jobs.
Living in a duplex right across from campus, Cummings lives with 4 other roommates, splitting the house and some bedrooms in half.
The girls who I live with upstairs, Abby and Katie, share a room, which is actually right behind me. And they pay significantly less than the rest of us just because in addition to, sharing common spaces, they're also sharing a personal space.
One of the most sought after jobs as a student is working right here on campus, because the jobs are close by and the hours are flexible. But like most minimum wage jobs, it's just not enough to pay rent. At the College of Business IT program, Adam Mader pays his hourly students as much as he can, at $15 an hour, but he knows that they're students first.
There are studies that show if they do work 40 hours a week, their studies begin to suffer, which go figure.
Richard Feller is one of the few Fort Collins landlords who rents his properties below market value.
Nobody making $15 an hour can afford to live in this town, regardless of age. It just seems like the greed issue is a concern, and also how do we treat people the way we want to be treated?
Experts say you should spend no more than 30% of your paycheck on rent.
I think I pay 90% of my income on rent.
And when it comes to budgeting, the first thing to go may be surprising.
I think the biggest thing is food.
I usually just go to Walmart or King Soopers, and it's still super expensive.
We all know it's better in other places, but we want it to be better here.
The sale and purchase of the Hughes Stadium land has been up to much debate in the years following the demolition of the beloved stadium in 2018. By early 2019, a preliminary plan was made to sell the land to a housing developer, Lennar Homes, who planned on placing 600 to 700 homes in the area. But this did not come without opposition, which brought to question if the land would be better fit as a natural area.
I'd rather like to see open space. I think they should make it into a park.
Preserving the natural area.
The fate of this land was then left to the Fort Collins City Council, who were tasked with rezoning the area and if they would even allow 600 to 700 homes where the stadium once presided. John Keefelaz, who was the state senator during the early stages of the Hughes land conversation, admits that although he did not have a direct influence on the matter, he would have liked to see the area be developed to make space for affordable housing.
Ultimately the voters decided. I think they gathered signatures, they had a citizens ballot initiative, and I think it's important for folks to understand that's an example of direct democracy.
And after many delays, by 2021, the city has finally made a decision to make this land public open space, which is where we stand today. And all that was left for CSU was to sell it to the city for approximately $12 million.
Once they make the purchase of that property, which I think is going to happen probably within the next couple of months, they need to further engage the community and determine what are the best options.
For people who enjoy the open space, like CSU student Erica Haynes, they're happy to see the area be preserved.
I mean, nature is beautiful, especially here in Fort Collins, and I think it should definitely be kept as a safe space.
In Larimer County, nearly 30,000 people are facing food insecurity today. And this month, the federally allocated Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, emergency benefits will be ending. During the pandemic, extra SNAP benefits were allotted to anybody who needed them. With these going away, this means an entire grocery trip could be off the table. And this is why certain people on campus, like Michael Buttram, are here to help.
More and more students are facing basic needs shortfalls. And these shortfalls may be in terms of food insecurity, they may be in terms of housing insecurity, transportation, but often those type of things walk in tandem, so it might be a shortfall on all of those terms.
But this does not mean there is a shortfall of resources available. Student case managers work closely with Rams Against Hunger to help students with their needs.
There isn't a wrong door, really, at CSU, right? Reach out to somebody for support.
And the Larimer County Food Bank has resources for students and residents to take full advantage of.
So we're prepared for as many people that need food. We will have food available for people.
We have a Rams Against Hunger pantry. It's a full client choice shopping experience where you can find bread, often milk and dairy and produce, always produce, shelf-stable items, frozen items, cereals, and you should be able to cut your grocery bill in half.
The ultimate goal is to help anyone and everyone who is in need.
So the impact for the food bank is, I hope the word gets out that if people need help, if they're food insecure and they need food, they'll come to the food bank and get more food.
Sure, someone else might need it more. And if you need it at all, it is yours to use.